Hey guys, and welcome to the new episode of Film Geeks. I'm Michael DiGregorio from the CharlotteGeeks.com.
And I'm David Max from FilmGeeks.
Alright, good to have you with us today. This week we're going to start something new. It's going to be going on for the next couple of weeks at least, and it may continue after that, depending on how we do and how many of these we can come up with.
Definitely.
We're going to start a top 5 list. 5. And this week we're going to start it off with the top 5 comedies.
Right.
Now, a little bit of a caveat there is it's the top 5 comedies that made us laugh.
Definitely.
Because not everything that is considered a comedy we find necessarily funny.
Right. These are films that have knocked us on our backs laughing.
Right, exactly. And so if you wonder why there, I'm just, spoiler alert, if there's not movies like The Hangover or American Pie,
right,
it's not that we don't necessarily like those movies.
Right.
It's just that they didn't really put us in the floor laughing.
Definitely.
These are movies, our top 5, that really affected us on a cellular level in terms of making us laugh. Okay?
Exactly.
Have I put enough description in that?
There's some biology going on in this thing.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to stop with our number 5. Number 5, Mr. Mackey.
Number 5, my number 5 comedy is definitely going to be Caddyshack. Caddyshack's a film that my dad showed me God knows how long ago. But it's just one that is just hilarious through and through.
Yes.
You got Chevy Chase is the main character working with, I don't remember the guy's name, but he plays Danny in the, in the movie.
Michael McKean.
That's who it is.
Yeah.
And just all the lines in that film are just hilarious.
Classic.
Be the ball, Danny. Be the ball.
Be the ball.
And just
I got that going for me.
Yeah, which is good. And we got Bill Murray as the groundskeeper. That's right. And then we got the gopher popping up everywhere. And
uncredited cameo from the gopher.
Right. Yes. Todd, if you could. Yes. But Caddyshack, number 5 for me.
Endlessly quotable.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So, all right, my number 5 is not really a comedy in the strictest sense of the word. It is a cult film that came out in 2003 from a guy who just appeared out of nowhere and did this movie and has kind of disappeared back in the ether. He hasn't done anything else. There's been a lot of talk about doing something, but the movie is called The Room. It was written and directed by Tommy Wiseau, who is, honestly, we couldn't even tell you what country he's from. He has a vaguely Eastern European accent. It was set in Los Angeles. It's about a guy who basically is living his life with his live-in girlfriend who he's going to get married to, and finds out that she's having an affair with his friend. Oh. His best friend.
That's no good. And
also, they have like a mentally challenged kid that lives down the hallway who's also selling drugs that he's trying to get him off of drugs.
Alrighty.
This is a movie where people stand around in tuxedos and say, "Hey, let's have a game of football," and they literally stand 3 feet apart, like 5 or 6 people, and just throw the football back and forth to each other, and that's playing football.
All right.
It's made by a guy who has no idea about human Earth culture. It's like an alien. It's become a cult film. Mm-hmm. I had to order this movie through Amazon, the DVD. I paid $20 for it because it's just a cult movie that you can't find anywhere. But it's a midnight movie in L.A. and New York, place like that. They run it at every Friday night at midnight. And
oh wow!
It's packed out. It's like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it's the new age of that. It's called The Room, and that's my top 5 comedy.
Old Sharknado.
Exactly, the old Sharknado. That one knew what it was. Mm-hmm. This one, people have discovered that it's a comedy, but it was made to be a drama, which makes it even funnier.
No.
Number 4.
My number 4 is Bruce Almighty. Definitely from being in ministry school. I'm a youth ministry major.
Yes.
I get all the jokes in that movie.
Yes.
Jim Carrey, Steve Carell, Jennifer Aniston's in that movie.
Yeah, she is. That's right.
And they all do a great job.
Yeah.
A lot of Morgan Freeman. How could I forget
God? Absolutely.
Yes, Morgan Freeman plays God. But just hilarious movie. Definitely a funny point of view movie.
Yes.
What would happen if this did happen? And
right, yeah.
It's just funny through and through. So that's my number 4. Go check it out.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, Morgan Freeman played God. So are we then to infer that it was God narrating the March of the Penguins?
It's entirely possible.
Think about that.
and Vitruvius in the Lego Movie.
There you go. Absolutely. Another classic film.
Oh,
If we
absolutely.
ever do top 5 Lego movies, the Lego movie is going to be number 1.
It's going to be all 5.
It's going to be all 5.
It's going to be all 5 because everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. Everything is awesome when we live a dream.
Everything is awesome.
Number 4.
Number 4 for me would be Team America, the World Police.
I remember that one coming out in middle school.
That makes me feel old because
Everyone wanted to go see it, but I was 12, so
I
I mean,
was 62 when that movie came out. No, I was not that young. I was came out in 1984. No, 1984. Came out in 2004. 2004, and it was just it might be the funniest, the last great funny film from the guys who made South Park. I haven't seen the Book of Mormon, which is their Broadway play that's supposed to be great.
right.
But to me, South Park has kind of lost its touch a little bit. That might be the last great hurrah of that kind of comedy.
I can't get past the voices in South Park, so
Right, yeah.
it just annoys me.
I'll go ahead and tell you now. If you remember the Thunderbirds, the old there was the old Thunderbird show with the puppets, the marionettes. They're actually not
Right.
puppets; they're marionettes. That's what Team America World Police is. It's that
Right.
just taken to the nth degree, to borrow one of your phrases.
Nth degree.
Technically a comedy, and absolutely a fall down funny movie.
Right.
So that's my number 4.
All right, my number 3. Gotta look at my list here real quick.
Yeah.
I should know this by heart. It's Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, it's one that I look forward to watching with my family every single year.
Yes.
And it's one that I can quote all the lines because I've seen it every year.
Yeah.
But it's timeless.
It is.
Yeah, I can't get over all the jokes. I know them all by heart now,
Yeah.
and I tell them on a regular basis, even though it's a Christmas movie. But it's definitely like one of the funnier movies that I've ever seen Chevy Chase be in.
Yes.
And it's funny, they always change out the kids
Yes,
in those movies.
that
It's
is
always a
true.
different pair of kids.
Always. That's almost like a joke now. And
Right.
every vacation movie, it's a different set of children.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just that movie's hilarious. And everyone thinks about the big house with all the lights on it,
Yes.
the Griswold house, and the mall scene when he's looking at the underwear, and
To
it's
me,
just,
if you think about it, if you think about it now, there's a lot of movies now that do the Christmas episodes or television shows that do Christmas episodes.
Right.
And there's been other movies that have come out since then, Meet the Crunks or Meet the Cracks.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, all of those movies, to me, they're all borrowing from Christmas Vacation.
oh, most definitely.
That is definitely the film that feels like that kind of set the tone for that.
Right.
It's very episodic in nature. There's like certain things happen, and it's like adventures as the movie progresses.
Right. It's all set up via days.
Right,
so.
right, exactly. And it is Randy Quaid as cousin Eddie.
Yeah.
is great. in
Cousin
this
Eddie.
movie, yeah.
And his dog Snots.
Snot. Oh god, yeah. That's a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
That is definitely a great number 4.
Oh, yeah.
Any of all the vacation movies, I think that's probably the best one.
Oh,
The one that definitely
by
stands
far.
up and holds up
By
all these
far.
years later. Okay.
So what's your number 3?
My number 3 would be The Naked Gun from the Files of the Police Squad.
Yes.
With Leslie Nielsen as Lieutenant Frank Drebin. It was the first big screen adventure of Lieutenant Frank Drebin. It had been a television show in the early 80s that had failed miserably. It had been on
Right.
ABC, and I think it got canceled after 4 or 5 episodes.
Jeez.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe that now. When you look at the comedy, it was absolutely brilliant. It's because Leslie Nielsen is a great deadpan artist.
Oh, yeah.
He's not in a comedy. In his mind, he's in a police drama.
It's all real to him.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
that just makes it funnier.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, a lot of the characters actually play it straight. They play it very, it's not played for laughs.
Right, right.
And
You just
Personally,
end up
myself-
laughing.
Exactly. Personally, myself, I think there's a lot of comedies today that could take a lesson from that.
Oh, absolutely.
They play it. He underplays everything, and it's the situations themselves that are ludicrous.
Right.
And it is absolutely. It came out. It came out at Christmas time in 1988. I remember seeing it in New Jersey with my cousin Brandon. Little shout out to my cousin. And we went and saw that the night we got there. We was there for Christmas, and we laughed until we literally hurt. And that is
Those are the best
to me
movies.
that is a comedy.
Oh, yeah.
When you laugh until you have to after it, you're trying to recreate the jokes to
Oh,
people, and
yeah.
you can't do it.
And you just end up looking funny or not funny.
You do
because,
it, and they're like, "Yeah, that sounds funny. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds great."
"Yeah, I guess you had to be there, huh?" Yeah.
So number 3 would be The Naked Gun.
Oh, yeah. My number 2. Oh, side note about Naked Gun.
Okay.
Forgot about that. We talked about this before we shot this one. My dad's actually in the
Oh
Naked
yeah,
Gun.
that's right.
Father of a film geek.
Father Film Geek is
Yes,
in this
Father
movie.
Film Geek. But yeah,
Who is he playing?
he plays just yeah. Who was he playing? Who's he playing? Be sure to go watch The Naked Gun right after this podcast. There's a guy that falls off a roof and he gets marched over by a marching band. Look for the guy with the silver trombone because that's my dad.
That's your dad.
All right. Moving on to
Awesome.
number 2.
I can't believe we forgot that.
Yeah, number 2 is going to be Blazing Saddles.
Oh, Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles was another one that, just had me on the floor laughing the entire time. You've got, oh, geez, what's his name? It's going to kill me. Willy Wonka?
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
Thank you. Jeez,
Sorry.
that's embarrassing.
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder is the Waco Kid.
Yes.
And I don't remember the main character's name. But, just...
Cleveland Little, I know, played him. It was supposed to be Richard Pryor. Was supposed to play in Blazing Saddles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hilarious movie through and through.
Yes.
All the jokes are classic Mel Brooks.
Oh, absolutely.
Mel Brooks,
is
and
amazing.
just
In fact, as an overall encompassing, because there's so many Mel Brooks movies that should be on this list.
Absolutely.
One that didn't make my list, barely, almost. If there would have been a number 6, it would be Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein's great.
Basically, any time Gene Wilder works with Mel Brooks, it's gold.
It's fantastic.
Absolute gold.
It's phenomenal.
It is. It's great. It's a beautiful movie. That movie is another one that's constantly quotable,
Yes.
and it definitely set the standard for 70s comedy. There hadn't really been anything like Blazing Saddles for a Western
At all.
Yeah, it just, even from the way it ends and breaks the fourth wall.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just
It was revolutionary.
Absolutely.
For that type of comedy.
Absolutely.
So-
A lot of people say that. A lot of you see a lot of your movies like are revolutionary. This movie actually is revolutionary.
It is.
Blazing Saddles. It is. It's a movie that's been talked about so much that I don't think enough people at our age, or your age rather, my age, have seen it, but your age, I don't think enough people have seen the movie.
Oh, I have it on Blu-ray, and I
Yeah.
show it to everybody who walks in my dorm room.
And it really holds up. It stands up. It's not something that fades and is not as funny anymore. It's still
Absolutely.
as fresh today as it was the day it came out.
Definitely. So Blazing Saddles, that's my number 2. What's yours?
My number 2 would be My Cousin Vinny.
Okay.
With Marissa Tomei and what is the guy's name? I've already said this so many times today.
Fred Gwynn?
No.
Joe Pesci?
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci,
Dear
that's right.
Lord, I apologize to the movie gods.
You too, you.
You two Utes, yeah. That's the other thing.
Note
That's
from
the
the
thing.
producer.
Note from the producer. You two Utes. Hey, I don't know if he's talking about us or the movie. My Cousin Vinny, Joe Pesci, him and Marissa Tomei are New York. He's a New York attorney and his girlfriend,
Right.
who basically venture down to Alabama to Ralph Macchio is his cousin,
Right.
and the Karate Kid himself
Macchio.
is been accused of murder in a small town, Alabama burg, and
Which
Fred.
was a different role for him. but-
Yeah, well, it was. It was at a time when Ralph Macchio wasn't really. Well, he's not that he's in the spotlight now, but he was kind of. That was like after he had got away for a while. You didn't know where he was.
Right.
All of a sudden, he showed up in this movie and accused of murder in this small little Alabama town. And being an Italian and all my family being from New York and Buffalo and everything, it kind of. And we did live in Alabama at the time, which is which is also what made this even better. Is it kind of hit a sweet spot with my family because it was like, yeah, this. all of these things kind of is how the cultural clash is when you get somebody from New York to southern Alabama.
That's how it works.
It is that way, and it features a magnificent performance from Fred Gwynn, who was Herman Munster.
Right.
Got it dead on that time.
Yeah.
Herman Munster from the Munsters. We had an argument about, not an argument, we stood around trying to figure out who he played in
Who
that
he
show
was, right.
for a long time before we did this. So anyway, yeah, Herman Munster in the Munsters. He was also in Pet Sematary.
That's right.
Sometimes dead is better.
Yeah.
Remember that.
Pet Cemetery.
But yeah, not a comedy. Different list. Yeah, so
Very much different list. Very much.
When we do our top 5 Stephen King films, which I don't know if we can get 5 of them on there, but
we might have a total list of 5, not each have 5.
Yeah, total list.
Maybe it might be 3.
So yes, My Cousin Vinny is definitely my number 2 film for comedies of all time.
Oh yeah.
All right, and we get to the big enchilada. Here we go.
Big enchilada. Had one of those for lunch yesterday. It's History of the World Part 1.
Another Mel Brooks.
Another
movie.
Mel Brooks
There
movie.
you go.
Mel Brooks is the king of comedy in
Yes.
my house,
Yes.
and it should be he should be in yours as well.
You should at least have a passing knowledge of who he is.
Oh, definitely. The man pulls out all the stops in this movie.
Yeah.
Just all the different locales, all the different jokes, all the different.
I forgot about that.
I believe they break the fourth wall in that one as well.
I'm sure they do. Yeah.
And I mean, it's just every part about it is hilarious. The throne, or the throne, the scene in Caesar's palace, and the let him die. Just everything in that movie.
Was Gene Wilder in that, or was that wasn't Gene Wilder?
Gene Wilder, I don't believe he
think so, yeah.
was.
I don't think so. I know Gene Wilder and him and Mel Brooks had a little bit of a falling out. It might have been.
Oh, did they really?
That time. So
That's
it
too
seemed
bad.
like he should have been in that.
If he was in that movie,
Yeah.
that would have been the best movie
History of the
ever.
World. History. I remember being, and this was actually. This shows you how cool that David is here, or Max is, because these are movies that existed before he was ever born.
Right.
I mean, I remember seeing the previews for History of the World Part 1. That movie came out in 1981.
Right.
I was small. I was only like 10 or 9 when that movie came out. And it was an R-rated movie, of course, so I couldn't see it. But I remember seeing the trailers for it as a little kid. And I was like, just laughing at the trailers when I was a little kid. And I didn't even get all the jokes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh,
it is a great
every
movie.
time I watch it, I'm at least 2 years older.
Yeah.
So I get more jokes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's a new movie every time I watch
yeah,
it.
you get a little bit more. Yeah, Mel Brooks is definitely a genius. I mean, he's an amazing guy.
Master of
Amazing
comedy.
guy. Yeah, you would do well as a comedy fan, if you're a comedy fan, to just go and watch some of Mel Brooks movies. Yeah, even up to Spaceballs.
Oh, yeah, Spaceballs is great.
It's a great movie as well. Okay, so my number one film, A Fish Called Wanda. Came out in 1988. It was a sort of Monty Python film. John Cleese and Michael Palin are in
Right.
it. They wrote it. Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Kline.
That's right. Jamie Lee Curtis is in that movie.
Kevin Kline actually won a Best Supporting Oscar for this movie. It was it's just an amazing film. It's about a group of inept thieves who steal. I don't even know how much money it was now. Maybe $10 million and.
That's a lot of money back then.
Yeah. It's a lot of movie. It is a lot of movie, actually, because I'm sitting here thinking, how do I describe this movie? And it's actually a very complicated plot.
Oh, definitely.
In the way that comedies are. And it's not complicated to follow when you're watching it. It perfectly makes sense as you're seeing it. It's not hard to follow.
It's not Inception.
It's not Inception. However, just trying to explain to somebody what the plot is, you wind up giving too much away.
Right.
So it's hysterical. It is an absolutely hysterical movie. The first time I saw that movie, me and my sister went and seen it on opening weekend, and I think it came out in July or August of 1988. 2088.
Yeah.
And we saw it, and we both laughed literally until we couldn't catch our breath.
Yeah.
And to me, in my way of thinking, that is the mark of a good comedy. A good comedy, in order to make the list of the best, should make you laugh until you can't think.
Oh, absolutely.
And not just one time or not just at one joke. It should happen throughout the film. And with me, it happened with A Fish Called Wanda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's great.
And it happened with Blazing Saddles and with History of the World Part 1. Young Frankenstein, which didn't even make this list. I don't know how that didn't make the list. And it even happened with The Room for me. It's just it's a movie that gets funnier as you watch it, and that's a mark of a good comedy. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a comedy fanatic. I dabbled in stand-up. I'm a stand-up fanatic. I love stand-up comedians, and that's just, I love comedy. And comedy should make you laugh, and it should make you forget all of your troubles and everything that you carried into the theater with you. You should leave it once you start watching the movie.
Put you in a different world.
Put you in a different world. It should free you of your troubles for an hour and a half or however long it is. And if it doesn't do that, then it's not a great comedy.
Absolutely.
So that is our top 5 comedies to us. Now, obviously, you may have different views. You may have other movies that you find funny.
Absolutely.
If you do, let us know.
Yeah.
Contact us. Let us know what you think of our list. If you like it, agree with it, hate it, disagree with it, whatever. Just let us know.
Definitely. Feel free to let us know down in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel, Film Geeks. Check us out on Twitter at FilmGeeks384, and check us out on Facebook, as well as our website. All those links will be down there.
All links will be below us. And we can't wait to hear what you got to say. As always, we want to give a great shout out to Scott Clark Toyota for letting us shoot here at their lovely facilities. And if you need a new or used vehicle, come on down to Scott Clark Toyota because they have over 1,000 vehicles in stock. They have lifetime warranties on all new vehicles and selected pre-owned vehicles. So come on down to 13,000 East Independence Boulevard in Matthews. Find them online at scottclarktoyota.com or call 704-535-1972. Call Scott Clark Toyota today.